Hi, this is Catherine, Certified Nutrition Consultant with Foods That Heal You and Foods That Heal You CBD. And today I'm going to talk about CBD hemp oil dosing. And there really is no one size fits all when it comes to CBD hemp oil. What I'm going to do is cut right to the chase and try to give you some guidelines to help you determine what might be the best amount for you. All right, I'm going to talk about milligrams. I'm going to talk about how often you can take it. And I'm going to try to talk about a couple different things that might actually affect how much CBD hemp oil you as an individual need, that can affect how much you need. All right, so let's start off with milligrams. So the first thing you want to do when you are shopping or you get your product is look at how many milligrams are in a serving. For example, our gold label here, this is one of our most popular items. If you turn it over, look on the back, you're going to see 8 milligrams per serving, 8 milligrams CBD per serving. All right, so that's how you start. You start out with 1 serving per day for the first few days. That's just a general rule. And your per day servings, if you don't have the gold, if you have something else, 5 to 10 milligrams per day is a great place to start. See how you feel. Now, some people might notice after 30 or 45 minutes of taking their CBD the first time, they might feel less anxiety, feel a little calmer, fewer racing thoughts in the mind. So those are some things that you might notice right away. A lot of other people might not notice anything. And the reason would be is because A, everybody responds differently, but also because CBD is an herb and it's a superfood and it's not a drug. It's going to take time to build up in your system to have full effects. For some people, it can take 2 to 4 weeks to get full effects of CBD hemp oil. So you do have to be patient with it and not have the expectation that it's going to be a miraculous effect right after you take it. But it is pretty common for people to notice something. All right. So I start out with a serving, first few days, and then if you don't get the results that you're looking for after a few days, maybe 3 to 5 days, some people wait a week, then you can double it. Now, when you double it, you can do it one of 2 ways. You can either take double of the serving size, take, for example, 2 doses of the gold label at one time, or you can take it morning and night. It really depends on what you're using it for. For example, if you're using it for sleep, then you're probably going to want to double your dose before you go to bed, because higher, and in general, smaller amounts are going to have more of an uplifting, energizing effect. Higher amounts are going to have a more relaxing, sedating effect. So if you're having trouble sleeping, it makes more sense to take more at night before bed rather than spread it out. Another rule about how often or how many milligrams to take per serving or throughout the day would be, I would personally not recommend more than 15 milligrams at a time. So if you take the gold label and you double it, that's 16 milligrams, it's close enough. That's about how much your body's probably going to be able to absorb at one time. It may not be able to absorb more than 15 milligrams at a time. Some people might take 20 or 25 at a time and say that it works for them and their body absorbs it just fine, and that might be the case. But just as a general guideline, I personally recommend don't go much over 15 milligrams at a time, because you can always wait an hour and take another double serving if you need to. Okay, so let's say I need 45 milligrams a day. The range is going to be anywhere from 5 milligrams to 150 or 200 milligrams per day. Now, 200 milligrams is maximum. I mean, that's a huge, huge amount. So like I said, start out with the 5 milligrams. But let's say you need 45 milligrams a day. I personally would divide that into 3 servings of the gold. So you got 16 milligrams 3 times a day. That's what, 43? Make me do math here. I got to think about this. 48. That's 48 milligrams per day. So dividing it up is going to generally be better because it gives your body a chance to absorb it and it stays in your system that whole time as well. You're constantly feeding your body those nutrients, okay? So that hopefully covers the milligrams and how many times you can take it per day. Now, a couple things that might affect how much CBD you as an individual need. There's 3 different things that might affect that. The first thing is fat cells. Higher percent of fat cells is going to draw CBD into it. So CBD likes fat cells. It's just that simple. So let's say you have a high percent, now not weight, this is fat. So a 200-pound person who's solid muscle versus a 200-pound person who has a high percentage of fat cells it's going to be different because the CBD is drawn to the fat cells. So if let's say 60% of your CBD goes to the fat cells, then only 40% of the CBD is left in the bloodstream to get to, that's available to the endocannabinoid system. So only 40% of what you took is available to the endocannabinoid system, whereas a person who might be really lean might actually only absorb 20% into their fat cells because they just don't have a lot of fat cells, and the other 80% might make it to the bloodstream and get to the endocannabinoid system. So that's just an example of how fat cells can actually affect how much CBD hemp oil you might need. And then there's efficacy. So 8 milligrams of the gold label versus, let's say, 15 or 16 milligrams of an edible, you might only get 8 milligrams out of that edible because it has to go through your entire digestive system. Whereas with the gold label concentrate, you're putting it under your tongue and it's sublingual, it's going to absorb through the capillaries under your tongue, so it's going to have a much higher efficacy than an edible. So 8 milligrams of the gold is not going to be the same as 8 milligrams of an edible. You might need 16 milligrams of an edible to equal 8 milligrams of a concentrate. I hope that makes sense, but it has to do with digestion and how much your body's able to absorb. So that's the efficacy. All right, and then the last thing that will affect how much CBD, or may affect how much CBD oil you need, is how severe your condition is. Some people are in so much pain. I get emails daily. People are in so much pain, it is awful. The people that have severe conditions like that, severe pain, severe inflammation, severe insomnia, it's likely that you're going to need a much higher dose or milligram count than those who have mild issues going on. Okay, so just be aware of that as you're taking, if you have pain and you're taking 5, 10, 15 milligrams a day and you're thinking, gosh, why isn't this doing anything for me? Well, you might be taking a garden hose to a house fire in that situation. You know, you need something, you need more than just a garden hose to put out your fire of pain. I mean, pain is no small thing. It's a huge thing to compete with. So you also want to have an anti-inflammatory diet so that you're working with your body, reducing the inflammation. I have a whole separate video on that. But hopefully these are some guidelines that are going to help you determine how much CBD oil you as an individual needs, and a couple things that can affect how much you need. All right, so thanks for watching this video. If you have questions, you can email me at Catherine@foodsthathealyou.com, or you can also follow us on Facebook. Check out my website, foodsthathealyoucbd.com. I have a ton of videos. And thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.